to channel 11. Today I am going to give some explanation about SQL Server EXISTS operator overview. So the definition: the EXISTS operator is a logical operator that allows you to check whether a subquery returns any row. The EXISTS operator returns true if the subquery returns one or more rows. That is the definition. It returns true if the subquery returns any rows, else it will return false. So that is the definition. Let's see that how it works in real time. So I will implement the exit operator on my department table. So it has total 3 rows. Let's try with example. So this is my query. So if exit select count star from department where the id equal to 1, if exists, I'm printing row or exist. I will say row is exists. Okay, I'm printing this. Let's execute this. So if you see that I am checking inside the exist operator with subquery, I am with this statement. So its statement returns count how many rows are there for id number 1 in department table. So it is 1. So since it rows it returns some rows, so exit operator will treat that is true and execute this statement. Suppose it has one issue here. Normally if we feel that if it has if you see the department table doesn't have, it has only 3 rows, id 3. But if I try with invalid row, I mean 15 is not there in department id. There is no id for department in department table. So normally we feel that it should return false because there's nothing rows. Normally we feel that it should not print this value because there is no rows in department. So if execute, if you see that it is row is exist, so it treat that is as a true value and print this. Then you sometimes we confused how it is, since exist only verify whether that row has written values or not. In count star, it is indirectly returning some value, that is 0. So since 0 is the value, exist will treat that is a true, then it will print. That's why whenever we wanted to verify any value in exist, please don't give count star, always give 1 or 0. So since suppose if it has any values, it written 1, else it written nothing. So here 1 won't print. That's why don't treat that is a if exist it treat that is a false, then it won't print that. So whenever we wanted to verify any value inside the exist, please always give one constant value. So please remember that. Even you can give 0 also. Since 0 also treat value, 0 also it treats value, it returns true. Since id doesn't have anything, id in 50 doesn't have, that's why it is not printing. If id is available and department is available, it read. So that is one check. And one more another ways we can try. For examples for exist is, you can also try with this value, select 0. It treat 0 as a value, that's why it written 1 even for 1. And even if you try with null also, since null also indirectly value, so exist always treat null values as a value and return true. So if you see that is still printing. So even you can try with empty also, it will treat value. So whenever you wanted to try with exist, always you use static constant value in select list to verify where id equal 1. So that is one. And one more thing, exist treats null as a value. So you always, suppose if you wanted to verify your value, your select, verify without nulls, you always use where conditions here, not null or somewhere. So that how we can avoid null. Sometimes we feel that to exist won't treat null as a true, it will return false, but not null also it will treat as a true. So opposite of exit is not exist. That is the negate value. If you wanted to negate values, you can use not exist. Then if not exist of id1, then can print this. So for example, so not since 15 is not exit department, that's why it's print. I hope you understand what is the how to use exist operator in SQL, and with the different examples. Please keep watch my videos and encourage me by providing your comments. Thank you very much.